Of course, we got a lot to talk about. It's always a lot going on in the sports world, especially here in Northeast Ohio. We talking Cavs, we talking Browns, we talking boxing. We gonna talk today, okay? But first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with those Cavs. And before we dive into that, I want to tell you how you can follow us on social media. On Twitter, we talking sports 2. On TikTok, we talking sports 6. And on Instagram, we_talking_sports. And make sure you hit that like button so we know that you watching the show and you liking what you see. So the Cavaliers, that's my squad, but right now they're getting hit with the injury bug. And they getting hit real bad with it. You got Evan Mobley, the rookie, who's going to be out for the next 2 to 4 weeks with an elbow injury. You got Colin Sexton, who's out for the entire season with that meniscus tear.
Damn.
And that's a big one right there. That hurts. That hurts.
They're playing actually rather well, though.
They are. But it's just like, the thing about Colin Sexton is he's a natural scorer. And you always are going to need those. You always need scores in the NBA. People have been critical of his game, but regardless to whether you think he should come off the bench as a sixth man or whether he should start, you need those buckets. Last year, he averaged 24 points a game. This year, he was averaging 16, so his scoring was down, and we are not as dependent on him this year as we were in the past, but we still need him. So
do we need him if we kind of just won a bunch of games?
Well,
how long has he been injured? A couple weeks, right?
But it's over the course. No, yeah, he's been out probably about 2 weeks. But through the course of the season, through this 82-game season, you are going to need him. You always need scores, especially a scorer in the backcourt. So we're going to miss him. We're going to miss him.
But remember when we were talking about the chemistry with him and the team and stuff?
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, do you think that makes a difference? Not that I would wish injury on somebody, but you know how, because they said
no, I think Ricky Rubio fixed that. And I'm not taking any credit away from JB, but I think Ricky Rubio fixed that because Ricky Rubio has a very high basketball IQ, and these guys clearly respect him. So
mad underrated. He's an underrated veteran.
He is. And I'm going to just reference back to a game that I went to, and I think I told this story before. Rubio came off the bench, and it was Rubio and Sexton in the backcourt. And, Rubio gave the ball to Sexton, and he started doing his young bull stuff where he was getting ready. He was doing all of this dribbling. Ricky Rubio came back over, clapped them hands, like, give me the ball back, son. Let's run a play.
Right.
And that's what you need. That's what he needs because that's how he learns. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing for a coach to tell you something, but it's another thing for one of your teammates when you're on the court, on the floor, to coach you. And, Ricky Rubio is making him a better player.
Well, I can see that. That's the whole point of a veteran, though. You
right.
know what I'm saying?
Right. That's why you need vets.
Because to me, my biggest thing with Colin Sexton was I would hate when I felt like he would just charge to the hoop in an uncontrollable ball of energy and just pray he makes his layup.
Well, he definitely would play out of control at times. But like I said, last year we needed him to score, and we needed him to take a bunch of shots because we didn't really have many other scorers. That's not the case this year.
Right.
That's not the case. So he just, he is a natural scorer, but he can play more under control. And that's what we need. We need Colin Sexton to score, but playing under control. And with that, even though he's injured, I think we should still re-sign him. Go ahead, give him an extension.
They haven't re-signed him yet?
Nope.
And I'm going to be honest with you, because it literally, his re-signing came up right after me and you had just had the conversation about the chemistry and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, could that play a factor in maybe why they may or may not re-sign him? Or what can we get for him?
So they were trying to re-sign him. They just couldn't agree on numbers. But I'm going to tell you what. From Colin Sexton's standpoint, this is the worst thing that can happen to you when you're going into a contract year.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you hurt now. So now the only thing we got to go on is like the first 6 games of the season. Well, that's not the only thing you got to go on. He's been with the team, for 4 years already. But it's just like
too, wasn't
he was what?
He was starting too, right?
Yeah. He started ever since he's been here.
So where's he gonna go where he's gonna be able to start? You understand what I'm saying?
Right. So I guess what I'm saying is, to me, this switched the leverage to the Cavs right now. That put the leverage in the Cavs' hand because as a restricted free agent, we have the right to match any offer that another team gives him. But I don't think he's going to really be getting a lot of big offers from other teams for a variety of reasons. But most importantly, the big reason is because he's coming off of an injury, a knee injury where he missed most of the season. But if I was the Cavs, I would show some faith in Colin Sexton, because one thing you can't question about him is his work ethic.
For sure.
And I would go ahead and re-sign him anyway because, again, you always need scoring in that backcourt. And he gets better every year. So I hope the Cavs go ahead and re-sign him. So with that, I'm not giving up on the Cavs. Again, we got Mobley will be back. Kevin Love's already back. Lauri Markkanen should be back this week. The only one that's not coming back is Colin Sexton. So I'm going to go ahead and just move on. And I'm going to tell you who I think may be the most underrated player in the NBA right now.
Oh, boy, here we go.
If you can be underrated having won 2 MVPs.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
No,
yes,
it's
you
not
can.
underrated. You're just not playing the expectations. That's a difference.
Well, no, it's not about playing the expectations. Let me say who it is first. Let me play. Hey, Rado, you want to come on? You want to join in? You seem like you got something to say over there. Grab a mic, because you're going to like this one. You're going to like this one. Most underrated player in the NBA right now.
There you go, sir.
Stefan Curry.
He's not underrated.
He is underrated.
By who?
By everybody. Because it's like
by who?
By everybody. By the sports reporters, by fans. He's just underrated. So look, right now,
he's just not playing the expectations. Like I said,
what do you mean he's not playing the expectations?
Because you're saying he's underrated and he's not underrated. He's a star player and everybody knows that.
No,
it's just, he's
what
not
I'm saying
playing
is,
as good as everybody thinks he should be. So
no, he is. Right now he's the MVP. Right now he's the MVP.
So then how is he underrated?
He does this every year.
Because this is why I say he's underrated. Because if he continues and he wins the MVP, he'll be a 3-time NBA most valuable players. How many other people can say that?
How many rings do you have for to be that great?
How many rings does he have?
He checked out against the Cavs.
No, let's answer that question. How many rings does he have?
He has 2.
No, he has 3.
3. Okay. What does that mean?
He has 3.
You had 3 MVPs. Last time I checked.
3 MVPs, 3 rings.
And begged him to come join my team and took a back seat because he couldn't stop that monster, which was LeBron James. So are you really that good?
Oh, yeah, he is. Steph Curry has changed. Hall of Fame. They could put him in the Hall of Fame, right? They could start working on that bus right now. Steph Curry has changed the game. He literally, who's changed, let me see. Before that, Shaq changed the game.
Yeah, LeBron James, Stephen Curry.
Well, LeBron didn't change the game. LeBron's a great player, but he didn't change the game. Steph Curry changed the
70-pound man.
Steph Curry changed the game. He changed the way the NBA game is played.
Worse. It pisses me off the way he plays. It's hard for me to get to your rim, so I'm just gonna,
last time he done was an All-Star game.
Perfect guy. I hate that guy.
Why would you dunk when you got range and you can shoot from half court and knock down threes? Dunking, last time I checked, only gets you 2 points.
Yeah, I didn't say it was a bad thing. I just said it
last
irritated me.
Last time I checked, he haven't played a full season in so long. I can't remember. When did I say play a full season?
Hello? Okay, watch him this year. Watch him this year.
I watched him last year. He was going to pay for the same pace he was on last year to this year, and he went out again. He going to go out again. He didn't play yesterday.
Well, he's 33. He's 33.
I don't want any excuses. Did he play? Did you just tell me to do it? You just made my argument great. He's a point guard / whatever you call him. I don't know what you call him, man. The man is great. He is great.
Let me ask you this. Who's the best team in the NBA right now? Everybody take their turn. Who you got, Sean? Best team in the NBA right now.
I'm going to laugh and say the Cavaliers.
No, it's not the Cavs. I know damn sure it ain't the Lakers.
It's the Golden State Warriors, man. Quit playing.
Golden State Warriors the best team in the NBA?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'll give you that. There's no slander here.
Phoenix Sun. Chris Paul.
No. Let me tell you something. Golden State will destroy Phoenix. Golden State will destroy Phoenix.
They won 11 straight. They didn't win last night. They won 11 straight.
The Dallas Mavericks. Come on now. The Dallas Mavericks.
Hey,
and the Dallas Mavericks and Luka not even playing.
You know what? The Cavaliers was up by 19 against your same team you talking about with Stephen Curry. And you know what? These young guys out here running, they don't respect that nigga range. I mean that man's range. Excuse me for saying what I said. They don't respect that man's range, and the man messed up. And what happened? He hit from 20 in the quarter. You beat up on the Cavs, man. You beat the Cavs, and you don't tell me Dallas Mavericks.
Okay.
He beat up on a lot of people.
We don't have to speculate who the best teams are.
The Dallas Mavericks was in the playoffs.
Okay.
The Cavs in the playoffs forever, my lady.
For sure. So coming off the East Coast, we got Brooklyn at number 1, Miami at number 2.
Wait. Look, go the whole league. Go conference. Go conferences.
I am going conference. This is the Eastern Conference.
What? So Brooklyn, what's their record?
They're 12-5.
What's Golden State's record?
14-2.
Best team in the league.
But the Phoenix Suns they'll be similar. I wasn't doubting them. I'm just saying Steph Curry is not underrated. That's why I was like, what? Who has beef with Steph Curry?
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. When you talk about generational talent,
yes.
And again, let me be very clear about this.
And the Warriors
I'm not taking anything away from LeBron. But what I am saying is if you look at what Steph Curry has accomplished in his career, because he's the key to everything that Golden State does. And he has been the key to what Golden State does ever since they've been on this tear. Because to be honest with you...
Hold on. Are you about to do some LeBron slander?
I know. I told you. I started it off by saying I'm not taking anything away from LeBron.
Hold on. Let me get it ready.
On the plane and they called some man to come find me and save my life because I can't beat Kevin Durant. My bad. I can't beat LeBron James and who?
Yeah, I feel like he was about to start up some LeBron slander.
No, it's not LeBron slander. It's just like all I'm saying is Steph Curry needs to be elevated in people's eyes and in their mind because he's a generational player too that has done and he's accomplished a lot.
Yeah, do you watch his TV show? I like golf now. He makes me like putt-putt.
It's a bad man.
I'm just saying, if you look at what he's accomplished since the time he's been in the career, he needs to be in that like when you start talking about Mount Rushmore, and again, you know what?
No, because here's the thing: the way the Warriors got down with that small ball, literally, the small balls and threes literally changed the game.
It did. Exactly. So that's the point I'm trying to make.
Right. So there's no way in hell that I feel like anybody should be underrating him as far as his talents. But are we talking about as far as a pop culture standpoint?
No, you just talking about his impact on the game, in his since he's been playing.
But the only person who would be able to, right, 100%.
How many people do that? How many people transform the game?
I never said. You know what? He's one of the greatest shooters I've ever seen in my life.
Oh hell yeah, for sure.
But he's not on Mount Rushmore. Don't put him on Mount Rushmore.
No, he has to be on Mount Rushmore.
Let me ask you this.
No, he has to.
He's not better than Michael Jordan. He's not better than LeBron James. No, he's not.
Is he better than Kobe Bryant?
No, he's not. No, he's not.
No,
is he better than Kobe Bryant?
You know why he's not better than Kobe Bryant? Because Kobe Bryant said, I don't need nobody on my roster. Give me Paul Gasol and Andrew Bynum. I'll win me a damn ring. Flat out.
Well, you can't say that's nobody. Yeah, you can't say that's nobody.
Andrew Bynum's not a top 75.
Right.
Andrew Bynum's not a top 75 player.
At the time he was.
No, he wasn't a top 75.
Paul Gasol is.
No, he's not top 75. No, he's not.
He wasn't top 50.
He's not top 50. Paul Gasol never been in the top 50. No, he was not.
Are you serious?
Are you not serious?
I'm dead ass.
You can't be telling me.
And then on top of that, he had Andrew Bynum with him too.
Andrew Bynum
who was good.
First of all, that Lakers squad was stacked.
That's what I'm saying. It was stacked.
I'm talking about post Shaq. That squad was stacked.
We just named 3 7-footers.
Who was the All-Star that year? Who was an All-Star?
And shit, don't sleep on Meta World Peace. Meta World Peace.
I tell you what, we talking about the old Lakers, okay? We talking about the old Lakers.
You talking about Shaq?
No, hold on. We talking about the old Lakers. Let's talk about these current Lakers. What's going on with these guys? They got 3 guys on the squad who's top 75, but they can't seem to get right. What's going on with them?
Fuck 75, top 10, top. You know what I'm saying?
So the Laker Nation.
Wait a minute. No. They got 4.
They will win.
They got Carmelo Anthony. They got Russell Westbrook. They got LeBron James and Anthony Davis. They got 4 top 75 players.
Hold on.
4 all-time top 75 players.
You ready for some slander?
No, they won't.
Hold on, I'm about to take my shot. It's only 3.
Early.
So who you taking off?
I'm taking my man with the 2 families off. Melo can sit down with that.
No, Melo was
no. You know what? Melo's the one that's been keeping them in games. Melo is the one that's playing the best. Melo is playing the best right now.
What he said?
Right now.
He just said to us that Melo can't be what? Melo never lost.
He's a streaky player. I love him. He's a legend, but he's a streaky player.
Melo never lost an Olympic game. I bet that every player you said lost.
And Melo been healthy.
Okay.
Melo been healthy.
Keep that same energy in 3 weeks when he's averaging 4 points because he missed up 7 of his jack threes.
No, you know what it is? And again, you can go back. So go back.
That's my favorite basketball.
Go back and watch our previous episodes. Go back to about episode 10, 11 when we talked about these Lakers, and I was being silly, and I was saying that these old guys is gonna be arguing about, who drank the last of the Champipple, and they wasn't gonna get along. I said Russell Westbrook was gonna have Rondo in the headlock. You know what I'm saying? So it's too many old guys on this squad, and they're not gonna get it together. LeBron is gonna have to start trading some of these guys, and too many old guys, too many egos. It's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. To be honest with you, and you know who really needs to go? You know who really is the first person that needs to go?
Rondo?
No. Russell Westbrook.
No, he can't.
Wow.
No,
I need him. You know what?
I'm telling you.
Hey, you know what? If I had
he can't play with LeBron.
If I had picked you,
is he too selfish?
You're not going.
No, their skill sets are too similar, and the problem is Westbrook can't shoot. Their skill set is too similar in that they both attack the basket. But the difference is LeBron can play off the ball because he can shoot, but Westbrook can't.
How many shots does he have to jack?
Let me remind you something.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me remind y'all something. Last time I checked, when LeBron played with the Cavs, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Cavs couldn't shoot that good. Then we go to the finals.
No, they got shooters.
What was that? No, the Cavs had no shooters when LeBron.
You're right. We didn't have no
last time LeBron James went to the finals, they had no dang on shooters.
Right. That's why our salary cap is so fucked up.
You can't tell me that they can't do it. You know what? The salary messed up because everywhere LeBron go, he leave turmoil because he want to win.
Yeah.
I want to win. Don't you want to win? Everybody wants to win.
Well, LeBron is the straw that stirs the drink, though. Yeah. He's the straw that stirs the drink.
Hold on. Somebody's calling in. We're talking sports. Go on ahead.
Hey, this is DJ.
Oh, just in time. We talking about these Lakers, man. You know what I'm saying? And I just made the comment that, we got 4 of the top 75 all-time players on this roster, but they can't seem to get right. And what I say is LeBron's going to have to start trading guys, and I think the first guy he needs to send packing is Russell Westbrook. It's just not a good fit.
It's 17 games into the season.
It's not a good fit.
So it's funny because, dog, do you ever pay attention to yourself? Like, you say this every time. All y'all LeBron haters, but I'm just saying you specifically. You say this every time he gets into a new situation.
I love LeBron.
You don't. You take those pot shots at him.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not a shot at LeBron. If anybody, I'm taking a shot at Russell Westbrook. That's what I'm taking a shot at. No, I was very direct.
No, you wouldn't, because if Russell Westbrook was playing for Oklahoma City right now, you wouldn't even have any concern about Westbrook. You only concerned about Westbrook.
No, he cannot play with LeBron because their skill sets are too similar. But the difference is Westbrook can't shoot.
You know what? From now on,
that's the problem. Westbrook.
Well, here, let me say this. When you talk about basketball, like right now, the Brooklyn Nets don't have it together. Right now, Golden State is hotter than everybody else. The Chicago Bulls is one of the best teams out here.
And you know what? You should have called.
Right now, though. Right now, it's November. It's November.
But look. If you were saying injuries, but you gotta look at it like this with Golden State. They have a track record already. You know what I'm saying? These guys playing together, they have a track record. And Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, they know what they doing. It's just like when they get out there, it's like a walk in the park for these guys. They all have a very high basketball IQ. They all have skill sets. They know what their roles are. So whether it's November, December, January, June, they gonna keep this up. They are the team to beat in the NBA.
So I do believe that Golden State. So I do believe that Golden State is one of the best teams in basketball, and it's going to be a title contender. My only point with Golden State is that right now it's the beginning of the season, so we have no idea who's going to be good, who's going to be bad. The Lakers are putting together a team on the fly, but they have 4 of the best basketball players of all time on their roster. So, and not only that, LeBron James.
A couple of those guys shouldn't be on that list. Russell Westbrook shouldn't be a top 75 player of all time. He should not be a top 75 player of all time.
You crazy.
No, he going to.
You crazy.
How you top 75 and you can't shoot?
Hold on.
How can you be top 75 and you can't shoot?
He can't shoot. He just
Can Shaq shoot? Can Shaq shoot?
Shaq changed the game. Shaq was a generational player who changed the game because he literally dominated the paint. He dominated the paint.
What's up with you today, man? What's in those cups?
You can't compare. You can't compare. Exactly.
That's when the man keep the ball every day in his hand. You got to give me the ball.
Well,
you have to feed
Westbrook is one of the top 75 basketball players in my opinion. Carmelo Anthony is one of the best top 75 basketball players in my opinion. Anthony Davis.
So you run with
Anthony
Melo
Davis.
Westbrook?
No, I'm running with Melo all day.
Anthony Davis is one of the best basketball players.
What does that mean to you? Does that mean anything? That means pride on the line. Last time I checked, it's us first Russians. What? We beating you. Not beating you, we're beating your head in. Last time I checked when Melo was playing.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Right now, Melo is what's keeping the Lakers afloat.
What?
Yeah, Melo's playing good ball right now. Melo's playing real good ball.
Melo's balling.
Man, you say stuff that make me say, do you know basketball? Okay, so Carmelo Anthony is playing decent, but keeping them afloat? Well, so you're saying that the 8 wins they have, he's responsible for the 8 wins?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I've watched these games and a lot of the ones where they wind up losing, and the only one that's really balling is Melo. Anthony Davis throwing these tantrums, or I'm not even calling him Anthony Davis. His name is Street Clothes, because it's only a matter of time before he back in his street clothes, because we know he can't stay healthy. He trying to get hurt.
That's the LeBron. That's the undercover LeBron hate right there. That's the undercover LeBron hate
with street clothes.
Because you wouldn't be talking about. So you wouldn't be talking about Anthony Davis if he still played for the New Orleans Pelicans. You ain't talking about Zion Williamson. You only talking about him. You only talking about these dudes because they attached to LeBron.
No, they attached to the Lakers.
You want to talk about Zion Wilson? Let's talk about Zion Wilson then.
Is he playing?
No, he's trying to force his way out of New Orleans. That's what he's doing.
Who,
he's trying to Zion Williams. He's trying to force his way out of New Orleans.
He's pulling a James Harden. You saw how fat he got. Pause.
He's trying to force his way out of. He's trying to look.
He's too big to be big.
Look, the New Orleans Pelicans didn't even make the playoffs last year. He could have had that foot surgery back in May or June, but he waited to have it until September. That was his way of saying, I'm unhappy with the organization. You guys won't trade me, so I'm gonna have this foot surgery and miss half the season.
Right, and you're cool with that, right?
What do you mean I'm cool with it?
Do you accept that?
They try to make that man the face of the
I don't have a choice but to accept it.
Well, okay, he must have watched the last game then, or the last dance, because I feel like we had this conversation last week about Scotty doing it, and some people weren't fucking with it.
Well, you can't compare him to Scotty.
I'm not, but I'm saying I'm gonna do, because he's a good player, but I'm gonna get my surgery now.
He's accomplished nothing, but it's a different situation with Scotty. Scotty was a totally different situation. Like I said. Scotty was mad at the organization. Zion Williams is trying to force his way out of New Orleans. He wants to be traded because he doesn't want to be there. That's, again, different situation.
I don't think that's acceptable. I said it. I don't think it's acceptable.
Play out your contract and do your job, but at the same time, stop. He's just not that good.
I feel like if you
can't shoot and you out of shape, and then you blow out your shoe, what am I supposed to do with you?
I feel like in a situation like that, you should get paid.
Yeah.
You underside.
I feel like once it's
Players Union, NBA Players Union.
And when I say it's the difference between getting an injury on the court and I elected to have a surgery right before the season. I feel like if you do some shit like that.
So let me just put that in perspective. Let me put it in perspective.
I get it, some HIPAA shit, but
so let me put it in perspective.
Dead wrong.
Kyrie Irving pulled a similar move on the Cavaliers when he wanted to get traded, to where he said, look, either trade me or I'm going to go ahead and have knee surgery and miss half the season. The Cavs wound up trading him. David Griffin in this situation with the New Orleans Pelicans basically is saying, I'm not going to trade you. And Zion Williams went through on his promise, and he had the foot surgery. And he waited to have the foot surgery to when he knew when the season was getting ready to start, and he knew he was going to miss half the season. So, I mean, you got to see the writing on the wall on that.
I do, but it's like, why invest in a player that invest on a player that does some stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? Because what if he does the same thing to you?
Well, it's just like saying, why hang on to Ben Simmons when he clearly doesn't want to be there? It's just the way the NBA works. It's the way the NBA works.
You're right.
Kyrie Love too, but you know what?
So and keep in mind, I understand they're players and they're people, not slaves. But it's just like I don't like the, you know what I'm saying? I don't like the business aspects of it.
But hey, when you got a strong union, you can get those type of things off. But look, check this out though. We got to move on. We got to move on because again, we got a lot of different topics to cover.
Right.
So tonight there's a big fight. Okay. Yeah. Tonight 9 p.m. we got Terrence Bud Crawford versus Sean Porter.
Yeah.
9 p.m. That's gonna be a good one.
Two gentlemen stepping in the ring to play a game of punch face. Who you got?
Give me Crawford in a 10-round stop/KO.
You got Crawford. I want Porter. I don't know.
Well, you know Porter's a local guy. Porter.
That is.
Yeah, I always thought he was from Stowe, but he claimed Cleveland, and we'll take that. You from Stowe, we'll take that. You Cleveland.
If you from the suburbs of Cleveland, you can claim it.
And he's Northeast Ohio. He's Northeast Ohio.
You take it and run with it. LeBron James ain't Cleveland, but we take it, man, too. Ohio. You know what? Only way that Porter can win this fight, you have to muff it up. You have to beat him up. I'm talking about shoulder in his chin, shoulder into the other shoulder. You got to fight. You got to muff him up. Only the problem is Crawford used to that now. He's been fighting for a while.
I feel like we're about to see a real technical fight. I'm ready for it.
We are, and again, I think this is going to introduce a lot of people to Terrence Bud Crawford because the guy's fighting out. Yeah, he is. The guy's fighting out in Nebraska. He doesn't have a lot of. He don't have a personality that sells fights.
I'm okay with that, man.
He doesn't have a personality to sell fights.
As a fight fan, I'm okay with that. Sometimes I just want to see a fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the theatrics.
I definitely get that. I definitely get that.
I'm telling you, Porter's going to hit him with 9 different shoulders and hit him with the dipping bob and hit him in the head with the head bob 1, 2, 3 times. And Crawford had to step his game up and understand that. You know what? He had that fight already before.
So speaking about stepping your game up, speaking of stepping your game up, has anybody seen Adrian Bronner lately?
Wow, that's a sad
Only his mugshot.
It's a sad situation.
This, you know what? I'm gonna keep it real. This almost isn't funny to me. It's actually frustrating for me.
Sad.
And so, for those of you who don't know what's going on with Adrian Bronner, back in 2018, LeBron's last year here when he took the Cavs to the finals, one of those games where the finals, was here in Cleveland. There was a lot of parties going on, and Adrian Bronner was in Cleveland. He was at one of those parties.
That's where you fucked up.
And he was forcing himself on this lady, meaning, and again,
allegedly.
Well, he's pled to it already. He's pled to it already. So from a legal standpoint, the case has already been decided on. So he was forcing himself on a lady, and then what I mean by forced himself, they say he had her pinned against something and he was kissing on her or whatever. So he had legal charges criminally, and he also had civil charges against him. And again, I'm gonna give the short version of the story. From a criminal standpoint, he got probation and he was ordered to get alcohol treatment. From a civil standpoint, the young lady sued him civilly, and he didn't even show up for the case. Didn't hire an attorney or anything. So it was almost like a default judgment. But her default judgment was $800,000. Okay? And so since then, Bronner has not gotten his treatment for alcohol, his alcohol treatment that the judge ordered him to get. And he has not made $1 payment towards his $800,000 that was awarded towards this lady. So basically, the court system was looking at it like, okay, you just giving us the finger, right? So they issued 2 bench warrants for him. Okay. And when you get bench warrants issued for you, it's not like a warrant where you didn't show up for traffic court or something like that. They looking for you, and you Adrian Broner, so you not really that hard to find. Hang on. So what they wound up doing is they arrested him in Cincinnati and brought him back to Cleveland to see these judges.
Because he's high profile.
Right, and guess what those judges did?
I seen that, and
they said you going to the county, buddy, because you didn't do anything that we told you to do, and he's been there since October 21st. And from what I understand is he's taking the position that I'm not paying this girl anything or this lady anything.
Damn right.
Did you watch the video of him in court?
No, I didn't. Oh yeah, I did.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that's overstepping, and that's kind of fucked up in a sense.
Well,
it depends on who presented it.
Not right.
No. Look. Let me tell you something.
Not right.
I don't care who you are. You cannot just give the finger to a court system. You can't do judges like that. You know what I'm saying? You want to talk about egos? That's how you wind up in the county. Nope. So he's been down there since October 21st. I don't know when he's getting out or if he's going to get out anytime soon, because apparently he's being very stubborn in terms of not wanting to pay this lady, as well as not taking the alcohol abuse treatment that he was supposed to take. And that's on him.
I think he's broke.
Life
I said it.
That's on him.
He's not broke.
I think he's
life
broke.
Is about who you know and what you do.
He could have made payments, though. He could have made payments.
You could do whatever you want to do. I got one small story to tell off the beating record when we talk about sports. My best friend, he did something wrong. Great. You know what happened? Election year, what you gonna go? You gonna go down. You have to go down. Everybody goes down. Your lifestyle is what you want to make it. But you still gonna go down if you don't pay them payments, right?
For sure, DJ.
Right out. But your skin color dictates everything.
What?
Right out.
What you think?
Talking about it.
What do you think about this debacle with Adrian Broner?
Adrian Broner, you know what?
I mean, it just really is what it is. I'm not really that into boxing, so I really don't even know who the dude is. But I mean, I guess we're gonna have to go through the process to see what's happening. It sounds like some unfairness to me, though.
Well, I don't. And I'll be the first one to call out an injustice due to race in the legal system. But I don't care who you are, you can't just give the finger to judges. Sure. And he did it to 2 judges. It's just like he had a criminal case. He didn't comply with anything they told him to do as far as his sentencing. He had a civil case, and he didn't comply with anything. He didn't even hire a lawyer to come and represent him civilly, nor did he show up. So like I said, it was like she just got a default judgment on him.
That's why I think he's broke.
And he just didn't.
Even to send lawyers to court for that shit costs money.
He had a fight
he got some
he
money.
had a fight like 2 months ago to where he got a couple $1 million. I don't think, and like I said,
but at the same time, this is the same guy we seen flushing money down the drain.
Maybe he doesn't have $800,000 just to say here you go, but he could have made an attempt to address this. And basically, the court system is looking at you like you just giving them the middle finger, and you can't do that.
Not in Cleveland.
You can't do that. You can't do that almost anywhere.
But
I ain't gonna say almost anywhere. You can't do that anywhere.
I'm not gonna say that because we've already know there's been certain people who've done certain things, and they get given leeway. How about this? I just seen all right, so Adrian Broner, right? He did what he did. How about 3 weeks ago in a Cleveland court, a girl got probation and she almost killed somebody on a bike and tried to cover it up. That's the shit I'm talking about. She didn't have no fines or nothing. She just had probation. She almost killed somebody.
That's a different argument, though. That's a different argument.
I'm not saying it's race. I'm just saying I feel like they're trying to make an example out of him because he's Adrian Broner.
No. That's not it. There's a difference between once you've been sentenced by a judge, the judge gives you specific things that you have to do, and if you don't comply with what your sentencing is, you're saying you giving the middle finger to the judge.
No, it doesn't mean that.
Yes, it does.
All it means is I get away with anything I want to do. I am Adrian Broner.
That's giving the finger to him. That's giving you disregarding a sentence that a judge gave you.
For sure, if he did that in 2011, he probably would have got away with it. But now, I get it.
Man, we spending all this time on a dude that nobody even knows when the Browns got the biggest game of the season coming up tomorrow.
It's who you know, man.
For sure. What's up with the Browns?
And before we even get to the Browns, there's also another big game going on today. We got Ohio State, number 4 Ohio State versus number 7 Michigan State.
Michigan.
And Ohio State is killing them boys. Killing them boys. And let's get some applause for Mel Tucker though. Even though they're getting killed right now, he is a Cleveland Heights High School graduate. He's the head coach. He's the head coach of Michigan State.
Former quarterback, Cleveland Heights High.
But he's getting ready to sign one of the biggest one of the biggest contracts for a collegiate head coach.
2 years in.
He hasn't officially signed it yet, but it is a $95 million contract. So shout out to you, Mel Tucker. Good for you.
Whoa. Shout out to who?
To Mel Tucker, Cleveland Heights High. He's a Heights High Tiger.
Who is Mel Tucker again? Who is Mel Tucker?
Former quarterback for Cleveland Heights High.
No. I'm saying who is he at now? What's he doing now?
He's the head coach for Michigan State.
Colorado, Buffalo.
Okay.
Van Ward.
So with that, let's go ahead and move on to those. Let's go ahead and move on to these Cleveland Browns. Ward. Because this is a very big game for the Browns this weekend. This is a big game for the Browns. And the reason I say this, you look at it like, okay, they're playing the lowly Detroit Lions. How big is that? But it is a big game because the Browns are 500. They're 2 games behind in the division. So this is a big game. To be honest with you, from this point forward, every game is a big game.
Yeah.
Because the Browns they need to start winning. And you coming off a game where you basically just got shellacked against New England.
Oh, and I didn't even finish that game. That game hurt to watch. I don't know about you, how you felt about it.
Yeah, it was hard to watch.
So the question with the Browns is, do you have a quarterback? Because if you don't have a quarterback, you have nothing. You can have all of the best defensive linemen in the league. You can have all the best running backs in the league. But if you don't have a quarterback, you don't have nothing. So the question for Cleveland is Baker Mayfield the dude? Now, to me, as far as this game is concerned, I'm concerned because I can see them losing this game. I'll just keep it as mildly as that. And I think that's because the rest of the team is kind of fed up with Baker. That's just my 5,000 feet view. But I just think that everybody is just kind of fed up with him. When you look at all these first overall draft picks, he is the dude that just came in, got commercials. To me, I want to feel like his concentration is not as much on the football field as it is on making a name for himself. But that's just my opinion. And I think that people are just kind of fed up with.
Well, I can see that. I can see guys. And again, I've been saying this for weeks. It's like when you look at, and again, OBJ caught a lot of criticism, or his dad did, however you want to put it, for that video where it showed basically him, and it also showed other people that are running open and not getting hit with the ball. And my opinion on that the entire time has been, these guys watch the film after the game, and they all sit in the room and watch the film, so they know guys are open. They know that, and they know that he's not finding them. So
for sure, but it made it just like you said. You know what I'm saying? They watch that shit, and they're gonna see it anyway, and I'm pretty sure it gets pointed out. But I think in knowing that, that's what made it look so much more malicious. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not focusing on the OBJ stuff. It's not about, let's not go back down that road. He plays for another team now. I'm just making the point that when you and again, I think everybody here has played football, right?
At some time.
I think we've all played football, or organized football, at whatever level. But my point is, when you guys watch the film and you looking at what happened, and you see that, okay, there were so many missed opportunities. How many weeks are you going to watch them film and not start looking at Baker like, damn, dude?
It's Kevin Stefanski. Stop, man. Just stop.
Kevin Stefanski doesn't throw the ball.
I'll tell you something, man. Kevin Stefanski don't throw the ball, but Kevin Stefanski calls the call. And then, I'll tell you something different, too. But you can finish off the rest of what I'm saying for you.
Talking to the microphone.
Look. Kevin Stefanski calls everything. But it's Baker Mayfield to do the opposite of what he say. That means off script. Got to go off script. Always off script. Just because the first person is not open, throw to the next person, throw to the next person. Baker Mayfield is not doing the things that he's supposed to do. It's not his fault.
Right.
It's not his fault either. It's Kevin Stefanski's fault.
Why is it his fault?
It's Kevin Stefanski's fault. All he know is up the middle. He like tight ends. Like he come from Minnesota. He come from another team too. I know I'm saying another team. I'm going to say from Minnesota. Everything he ever did was come from Dalvin Cook. Run up the middle and throw up the seams. I need to throw outside the seam. But like I say, next year, Baker will be here and Baker will be gone.
Well, let me tell you why I disagree with that. Because Kevin Stefanski, yeah, he does call a play, and he calls the play based off of what he sees from a pre-snap standpoint. What he sees alignment. But we all know this is the NFL, and they give you a pre-snap look, and then they'll give you a post-snap look. And that post-snap look is where you, as the quarterback, just have to play football. So if I was thinking that you were in a zone coverage and I was going to hit this tight end right up the middle, but after the ball snapped, the linebacker went and manned up with the tight end, so that option isn't there anymore. It's about just playing football. And you have to be, and the guy with the ball in his hands, he's the one that has to make the decisions, ultimately.
It's Kevin Stefanski's fault. He's not unleashing Baker. Baker needs to be unleashed.
Well, I got a different opinion of that.
What's on your mind?
I think is overblown expectations. I think that Kevin Stefanski is the problem, but he's only the problem because this is his second year as a coach. And I think that after a while, he will understand how to make these adjustments. He will understand that his play action offense doesn't work with a short quarterback. And so I just think that at the end of the day, right now, the problem with the Cleveland Browns are just the fact that they are becoming a team, but they are not a team yet. And so what it's going to take is it's going to take time. We can get rid of Baker, but what really good is that going to do? Because you ain't going to find another quarterback. So all you have to do is just be patient and let the season play out.
I think Baker's going to
get rid of the dudes that don't want to be here and roll like that. I think that the expectations is more of the issue than anything else. But that's just my opinion, and I'm sure it's not a popular opinion, but to me, that's just what it is. It's just that, you are who you are, and you gotta keep building. You gotta get this thing to a place where, okay, now we are a good football team. Now the problem is, how long do you have Nick Chubb? Because Nick Chubb is obviously a Super Bowl contending football player. How long do you have Myles Garrett? Because Myles Garrett is obviously a football contending football player. I think the rest of the guys on the team are pretty interchangeable. But you have a window with Chubb, you have a window with Myles Garrett, and you got to figure out what can we make of this. That's where I'm at with it.
You know what you should make of that? What you're saying, sir, is this. Listen to me, man. Baker Mayfield is a hell of a quarterback. Real talk. He's a great quarterback. The problem is Kevin Stefanski is running ABC plays. All you want to do is throw to the tight end up the middle. Sometimes Baker Mayfield might not make that out of bounds throw, but he needs to step his game up and throw the out of bounds throw. You understand what I'm saying?
DJ? You still with us, DJ? Okay.
Sounds like he's there somewhere.
Okay.
He's there.
Well, listen. I know Jarvis spoke out and he's getting frustrated because he's not getting the ball. He had a turkey giveaway this past week, and he's getting frustrated because he's not getting the ball. And to be honest with you, I think at the end of the day, it comes back to Baker's inability to read the field, or to see the entire field and make the proper reads. But hey, look, you know what else I think is contributing to it? I'm gonna tell you what's contributing to it. When Baker looks his best is when everything is working. And what I mean by everything is working, when our running game is having success. And part of why that hasn't been what it was early in the season, last season, it's because Kareem Hunt ain't out there. I think that offense is missing. I think that offense is missing that 1-2 punch of Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. Because if you look at it, those are our two most explosive. Those are our two most explosive players.
That's bad.
Yeah, but okay, so
I agree, but
if you look at the top teams,
you don't have
if you look at the
guy to take things off the top. You have to have a football player, a receiver, to take the ball off the top. Odell Beckham got hurt, so then he got hurt again. So he can't take it off the top. I like Landry. Landry is just a possession receiver. All you have is a possession receivers on the Browns roster. So if you're not getting 130, 40 yards, what are you supposed to do? Stop. Don't blame it on Baker. Last time I checked, that's a Heisman Trophy winner.
That's college. That's college.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, it do.
Still a Heisman Trophy winner.
In college, guys run wide open. In the pros, they don't.
I'll tell you something. No problem with you guys is, I'm not talking about you Brown fans. No problem with folks is, outside of Brown fans, they don't like Baker because he is a national man. His commercials go national. I don't see Cam Newton commercials. I don't see Big Ben commercials. I don't see Kyler Murray commercials. I see who that is. What's your favorite quarterback, right? The Brown. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan for life, flat out. But last time I checked, every time I see a commercial, I see Baker. That mean what?
Yeah.
That's why you hate on. That's why they hating on that man. Put hate on
Who's
that man.
hating on him?
Put hate on Baker Mayfield. It's not Baker Mayfield's fault.
Everybody is hating on Baker Mayfield right now.
Dude, I can't throw outside the number because they can't get outside the number. Landry was
OBJ
good.
Couldn't get outside the numbers either.
No, he got hurt. He got hurt again.
He wasn't hurt this year.
He was still hurt when he
OBJ was hurt this year.
He was still hurt. Landry is good.
He's talking about so he couldn't run because of his shoulder. He had his shoulder was dislocated, so he couldn't run. Right?
Baker Mayfield.
OBJ didn't play the first 5 games, right?
No, he missed the first 2 games.
Yeah,
he
missed the first 2 games. Okay.
I'm blaming on Stefanski. I'm not blaming on Baker Mayfield.
So here's the thing. In the NFL today,
go ahead, DJ.
In the NFL today, a strong running game is not going to make you a good team. Now, don't get me wrong. Tennessee is doing something, but what the NFL is about today is, can I take this team and drive it down to win the game? That's what it is. You got to have receivers. Okay, so in the first 3 quarters, you can run the ball, and you hope that you play for a lead. And against teams like Cincinnati, against teams like Denver, against teams like that, yeah, that's a good formula. But when you play in the top teams, you got to have an explosive offense with explosive receivers and an explosive quarterback that can drive you down the field to win the game.
I agree
and
with
Kevin Stefanski's offense is not that. Kevin Stefanski's offense works when you play from in front. You got the lead, you run the ball, you do that. If it comes down to you in the 4th quarter and you down by 6 points, 4 points, and you got to go down and score to win the game, that's what the NFL is today. That's not what Kevin Stefanski is.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So if there's a play call and it's designed to go to the tight end, but the tight end is covered when you actually run the play, you mean to tell me Baker isn't able to throw to someone else? He just got to eat it, or he got to run. He can't say, okay, well, that play.
Who though?
Let me finish my question. You mean to tell me he can't say, well, that's not there, let me go somewhere else with the ball? Can Baker do that, or can he?
Well, what are you going to do, throw a 5-yard pass to Jarvis? I mean, they don't have nobody to throw it to.
Hold on a second. This guy named Odell Beckham Jr. just left a week ago. And his daddy put tape out showing him running routes where he's wide open.
Didn't Stefan Diggs have the same problem in Minnesota?
No. Don't deflect. Let's stick to what we're talking about. We're talking about the Cleveland Browns, okay? We're talking about Baker Mayfield, the Cleveland Browns, and we're talking about when Odell Beckham Jr. was on the team, and his daddy put together a video that showed him running wide open.
So we all know what that is.
Can you answer my question though? Can you answer the question? If Baker Mayfield,
what is the question?
if Coach Stefanski calls a play that was designed to go to the tight end, and the tight end is not open, does Baker have the ability to go somewhere else with the ball?
No, he does not.
The skill.
I can't say yes. Yeah, I can't say yes because obviously the video shows that he can't. But to me,
that's why I'm saying
you're not going to get another quarterback unless you tank next year. There's nobody. There's a quarterback from Pittsburgh that.
But you going from A to C. You going to A to C.
Why would Russell Wilson leave Seattle to come to Cleveland?
Dude, do you know what squads you have? I'm not a Brown fan at all. Do you know the Browns have the best roster in the AFC North? Stop it, man.
They have the best what?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. No,
he said sponsor?
No, roster.
The roster. They got.
They don't.
The best in the league. Wow, unbelievable, man. One of the best in the league.
You know, hey, let's talk about that.
A 2-game salad. That's a 2-game.
Let's talk about that. What makes the Browns roster the best roster in the AFC?
That's better than what you got. Tell me another. Better than what you got. Please tell me that. I can't hear it.
But that's it, though. You got a good running game. What else do you really? Everybody keeps saying the Browns got this great roster. What position? They don't have a good offensive line.
No,
didn't Baker Mayfield get sacked?
Who doesn't have a good
Didn't Baker Mayfield get sacked 5?
How you think they paid the?
Didn't Baker Mayfield get sacked 5 times last week?
That's on Baker, though.
You know what? That's on Baker. You know what?
Oh my God!
Look here, man. Every team has bad games, man. Come on, man. But come on, man. If you watch sports, man,
so let me
sports and quit talking to us wrong. Everybody had bad.
Okay,
games.
Give me the floor for 1 second.
Give me a bad game, man.
Okay, DJ.
Give me the floor. Give me the floor for 1 second.
You got the floor.
So the biggest misconception is that the Browns have a good roster, and I don't understand what does good roster mean. Then the Browns have very good running backs. They have a very good defensive end, and that's it. That's it. Like, their offensive line ain't – if one of these guys on their offensive line went to waivers right now, it ain't like everybody going to be breaking their door like, okay, what's number 77? Number 77 is the key to us winning the whatever. Nobody – the Browns are – first off, okay, so you got a right tackle. Okay, so I would probably say the right tackle is probably – the best dude on the team, and only because
the best guy on the team. Jake Conklin is the best guy on the team.
On the offensive line. On the offensive line. So
how about Joe Bitonio? How about Joe Bitonio, a 3-time Pro Bowler and last year an All-Pro? How about Wyatt Teller?
You don't think other teams can say that?
No,
you don't think other teams can say that?
No, I don't.
Pro Football said the Browns had the best team in the NFL. Pro Football.
Yeah, because you read it in Cleveland. If you was in Dallas, you would be hearing that they got the best offensive line. If you was in,
I never heard that.
So what I hear is
you never heard that the Dallas Cowboys got the best offensive line. So let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this: if you had to, so if you had to pick guard, and you had to pick Quentin Nelson from Indianapolis, Joe Bitonio from Cleveland, or Zach Martin, Zach Martin from the Dallas Cowboys, who's the most accomplished? Zach Martin from the Dallas Cowboys.
Hold on a second.
Accomplished means nothing.
The 3 best offensive lines in pro football is the Browns, the Cowboys, and the Colts. Those are the 3 best offensive lines.
Okay, so out of those, which team gave up 5 sacks? Which team gave up 5 sacks to their quarterback?
You can only block if you look at
the quarterback for those 3 teams that you just mentioned, the quarterback for the Browns has been sacked the most. Like, to me, again, like I said, this narrative.
If you hang on to the ball, you're gonna get sacked.
So what you saying? You want to get rid of Baker Mayfield?
No, the only thing I'm saying is that it's a work in progress. It's not a complete thing. You do not have a good roster.
If it was your show, I'm gonna talk to you if it was your show.
Hold on, just let me finish because I'll still finish my point. You don't have a good roster. You don't have any good tight ends. You don't have any good wide receivers. You have a decent offensive line. So that's just on the offensive side.
Stop.
Now on the defensive side, let me just finish. Let me finish. On the defensive line, what position group do you have that is top 5 in the NFL? So you got Myles Garrett, who is probably number.
What about Clowney?
No, I said position group. So that's the whole defensive line. No, position. What I mean is you got 3 levels on defense. You got defensive line, you got linebackers, you got secondary. What position group on the Browns is top 5 in the NFL on defense? None. So the only thing that you got top 5 in the NFL, I don't believe offensive line, but I'll give you offensive line. But the only thing you have is running back. And that don't win the NFL.
Hold on a second. Let me say this. It's what do you have on paper, and then what do you have from a performance standpoint. So which actually brings me to a good point, to another point. Myles Garrett was critical of Joe Woods in the defensive calls he was making this past week.
So you think I don't read that as that.
He said it in a press conference.
He just said that we were not making adjustments, and everybody took that as, oh, Lord.
Who makes adjustments? The coaches, right? Who makes adjustments?
Or the players, too. The players, too.
So the players can call another defense. So the players can say, so this is what I'm taking from what he said, okay? Because he talked about how he was getting double teamed, how they were sending at least two people at him every play. And again, I've never been.
And he said that about 5 weeks ago too, right?
Let me finish. I've never been a defensive coordinator, but to me, reading between the lines, is he saying if they're sending 2 people at me every play, then why don't you send a blitzer and send somebody else? Because if both people engage with me, that person's gonna get in scot-free. If one of those guys comes off me to pick off that blitz, that gives me a one-on-one matchup.
Free run.
So that's what he's saying when he's saying make adjustments, and he can't make those adjustments. Those adjustments have to be.
So when you fire your defensive coordinator, who are you going to get?
Did I say anything about firing anybody, or did I just say that Myles was critical of him?
Right, but again, Joe Woods ain't gonna. Joe Woods is not gonna morph into nobody else. Joe Woods is not gonna morph into anybody else.
Why not?
Today, if you are. So here's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the problem is the roster. Now everybody is saying, okay, it's Baker Mayfield. Okay, it's Joe Woods. Okay, it's OBJ. The problem is the roster, and so at the end of the day. You are not going to you're not going to get a better defensive coordinator. Not next year, not the year after that. You're not going to get a better defensive coordinator than the one you got. Not saying that he's good, but what I'm saying is nobody is banging down the door to say, hey, I want this Cleveland job.
Oh, man.
There was a time when Bruce Arians did, but you didn't choose him. And so he went to Tampa Bay and won a Super Bowl. Now you don't have that luxury no more.
This is Kevin Stefanski's first year as being a head coach, and he got exposed a little bit. He gonna step his game up again and gonna be a better coach. Once I get film on somebody, what you expect out of me? You know what I mean? Everybody get film on them, and then you learn. You got to learn how to adjust, and you figure out what Kevin Stefanski's offense is and defense is, flat out. So let it go, man. Just relax, man. Just relax. The Browns gonna be all right. They will be all right.
So at the end of the day, I don't have a problem with Myles making comments and being a little critical, especially right in the heat of the moment, like right after the game. Because if he's feeling some kind of way right after the game, I don't have a problem with it. And like I said, just looking at the example based off of what Myles said, again, these are words that came from Myles. I don't have a problem with it. But I got one more question for you. I got one more question for all of y'all. Is Kareem Hunt coming back this year?
He's done.
That's what it looked like when he got carted off the field. To me, and again, obviously I'm not a medical professional, but it looked like he had an Achilles issue, an Achilles injury.
Why come back? Season's done.
But the Browns called it a calf injury, But it's like you got a calf injury, and he's been out like what 5-6 weeks now.
Do you know what a calf injury is? At the time, that's worse than Achilles, man. You come back off Achilles in the same year. You can't.
No,
you
don't come back from no Achilles.
No, you don't.
Come back from
No, you don't.
And Achilles is like
No.
a 12 month. Achilles is like when you tear your Achilles,
on the degree,
rupture it, whatever. It's
rupture
over.
yeah, your Achilles is like a year-long rehab.
And so,
You ain't coming back from no Achilles, no time.
Tear in your calf. You don't know.
But they never said anything about a tear or a rupture. They just called it a calf injury. So I don't know. I guess again, I'm just asking the question because I really believe he's such a vital part of our offense. And again, if you look at the fact that we pour all of our money into our offensive line, I don't really see how that's even debatable. That how important our running backs is. If you look at where they spend their money at,
that's the problem. That's the problem. That's why I always tell you that's the problem. Anytime you have a good quarterback, you have no quarterback. But if you have a great quarterback, the quarterback is going to get you 2 to 3 victories a game, flat out. No matter who in or who out, throw the football. I watched that last year with the Jets. Right? And the Browns.
pick your mic up.
I watched that last year with the Jets. Baker's not that guy, but I love Baker to death. But he's just not that guy.
Well, I tell you what, this is a big game for Baker and the Browns tomorrow. To be honest with you, if we don't beat the Lions, we got big problems.
You're a Steelers fan now.
No, I ain't no Steelers fan. Don't put that on me.
We lost to the.
I'm just saying, if we don't beat the Lions tomorrow, we got big problems.
Pittsburgh lost to
Detroit. I expect them to.
He probably beat the hell out of them. But People Jones is out. The receivers.
But check this out, though. We'll talk about that next week because we're going to wrap this show up. Hey, we appreciate you listening. We appreciate you joining the show.
Thank you, DJ, for the call.
DJ. And at the end of the day, we talking sports, and we'll do it again next week.
Love you,
Thanks
DJ.
for watching.
Yep.
Love you.
See you next week, squad.
All right.